Can your dentist give you same day crowns and zero wait times? Well, let me just tell you about my dentist that I've been seeing for well over a decade, maybe longer. So, most of the time when you go to a dentist and you have to have any kind of major work done, especially if you have to have a root canal or crowns put on, normally the process is they're going to have to actually put like impressions on your tooth, clean it out, put impressions, and then they're going to send that impression off to a lab to have your crown actually made. And then you got to come back in for another appointment for the fitting and for them to glue it in. Well, I've got my dentist is actually one of the few, maybe the only one in the Jacksonville area that actually can actually make the crowns and everything right there in the dentist office. And I can come in and have everything done in one visit. That usually takes probably anywhere from 2 to 3 hours tops. So this is a major time saving thing and less aggravation, less times coming back in and getting numbed and all of that. And I just want to explain like the value of this dentist. Yeah, I've been seeing him for, like I said, for quite a long time. I had some research done on Dr. Bari, and my last visit, we actually had a conversation about all this, and I was telling him about, my new AI that I've been experimenting with, and he was really interested in it. He says, "Well, what does it say about me?" So, I told him I had it do a search for him, and I showed him my phone, and I said, "Is this accurate?" And he says, "Yeah." He says, "Tell me more." And he's a guy that is very humble. He doesn't really boast about what he's done in the past, but he's got a really, really, really cool story. So Dr. Sami Bari is a Jacksonville-based dentist since 1990, has revolutionized dental care through his pioneering implementation of what he calls lean management principles, adapted from Toyota's production system. So he's the co-founder of Bari Dental Group. His practice emphasizes efficiency, patient-centered care, and cutting-edge technology, earning recognition as the world's first lean dentist, and received a 2010 Shingo Prize winner for operational excellence. So it's the dentist version of like the Oscars or something like that, or the Nobel Prize for being what he is. So here are the key things that differentiate him from other people or other dentists. No wait appointments. So the way the technology is designed, there's no wait. Patients are seen immediately due to optimized scheduling in one patient flow systems inspired by Toyota's manufacturing efficiency. You get same day treatments like I was saying. Complex procedures like crowns, implants, and orthodontics are completed in a single visit using the CEREC technology and in-house labs. And this technology is really cool. It's all computerized, and I'll pull this up in a second. But he actually puts this imaging thing in your mouth, and it actually maps the area that he's going to work on, and it creates this 3D image. And from there, he actually will sit there right next to you and actually construct the crown that needs to go in there. And so when he's done doing all this construction, he actually sends it off to the 3D lab, to the 3D model maker that actually carves it out. Takes about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour to do it, but it's actually being done as you wait. And then when he's done, then he puts it in your mouth, fits it and everything, and then glues it in, and then he'll actually if he has to make any minor adjustments to the bite and everything, he'll do that there. So minimal waste, reduced setup times, and resource allocation cuts costs while maintaining quality, avoiding overstaffing or unused operatory spaces. Patient-centric innovations, rapid problem solving. So he can solve a lot of problems very, very quickly in a short amount of time. Safety protocols, enhanced sterilization, and pandemic era precautions are frequently praised in reviews. High satisfaction rates. Surveys show 96% approval for same-day treatments and 98% referral likelihood. He also is highly regarded. He authored the Follow the Learner, a seminal workbook on lean healthcare, lectures globally about applying lean principles in dentistry. He trains other practices, making Borrow Dental Group a benchmark for dental management efficiency. He has a comprehensive array of services. The practice offers 20 specialized treatments, including cosmetic dentistry with veneers, Invisalign, and laser whitening, surgical care, implants, wisdom teeth extraction, and sleep apnea devices, advanced diagnostics, oral cancer screenings, and 3D imaging. My wife had to have a tooth pulled, and normally most other dentists, and back in the day when I was seeing another dentist, he wouldn't do it there in the office. He sent me off to another dentist to do it that specializes in that. Well, they do everything there, so I don't have to come back for another appointment and go through a whole another rigmarole. And then when the tooth is extracted, normally I have to go back to my normal dentist to continue the procedures. Well, with Dr. Bari, everything is done there in-house, unless it's something that's serious that he feels like he can't do properly in his dentist office. He'll send it out then, but most of the time, no. He's highly regarded for his efficiency, no wait times despite being busy, and appointments start and end on time. Now, this is not always the case, but I used to always think when I first started seeing him, I would never see a room full of people waiting. And back then, my first thought was he must not be a very good dentist, because other dentists have a full lobby of people, and other dentist lobbies are very fancy and highly decorated. But you pay for all of that in the end. And when I went to see Dr. Bari, basically the reason why I left my other dentist, they wouldn't take my insurance that I had, and he did. And so I went to him, and that was, like I said, my first thoughts were, he must not be that good because there's nobody waiting. Well, I didn't even know that he had a different philosophy and a different system compared to other dentists. And the reason why is because of his efficient operation that he's outlined here. He is a perfectionist. He always, like, we've had some issues with some of my teeth, and he never gave up, even though it cost him more time and probably didn't make any money on that particular tooth. He kept doing it until he got it right. And sometimes dentistry is not as easy as just everything is going to be simple. But he is a perfectionist with meticulous attention to detail, particularly for anterior implants. And he's always on the cutting edge of technology. He uses intraoral scanners, laser tools, and same-day CAD/CAM crowns. And even though not everybody's embraced AI, because I was actually talking to him about AI, and his new X-ray equipment actually utilizes AI to perfect the pictures that it's taking. So he is already using AI. The key things: one patient flow, waste reduction, 40% fewer assistants. Although one video that he has on YouTube, and I'll probably insert it here, they claim that he uses very few assistants. Well, that is not actually the case. He does have assistants, but they're all being utilized very efficiently in different situations. And it's the flow of how it works that makes it so efficient. But you have 24 fewer appointments annually while maintaining production and volume, streamlined sterilization, plan to do check cycle. The Kaizen continuous improvement empowered staff to identify and solve problems daily, and just-in-time production, reduced treatment lead times to accommodate same-day emergencies and walk-ins, maintained empty chairs as a metric for readiness to handle unscheduled patients. I'm not sure what this is. Time alignment. Basically enables same-day hygiene appointments. When I was in his chair this last time, I asked him, well, how did he even come to America? And because he said he was from Lebanon. So when I did the research, and he told me a lot of this in kind of brief detail, because time is money for him. And, we did have a little bit of downtime to talk, but, he was telling me that his journey, like what this is saying, is from war-torn Lebanon to pioneering lean dentistry in the U.S., exemplifies resilience and innovation. He was born in Lebanon. He earned his dental degree from St. Joseph Jesuit University before specializing in prosthodontics during a 3-year stint in Paris. Returning to Lebanon in the early 1980s, he rapidly ascended academia, becoming a chairman of fixed prosthodontics at the Lebanese University and founding director of its dental school in 1984. So he said he was actually preparing to come to the U.S. And then, he wanted to see this school, this dental school, and he said he had to spend another 5 years. But after that 5-year stint, that's when he left. And of course, I don't think he mentioned the Lebanese Civil War. That basically prompted his 1990 relocation to Jacksonville, Florida, with his wife, Dr. Micheline Bari, and I met her in one of my salons, and she actually helped me with a problem. Little did I know she was married to Dr. Bari, and she drew all of this diagram on. This was the problem tooth that I was having that took many times, but she outlined what needed to be done. And when I saw him, he actually decided to listen to his wife and utilize her technique, and it actually worked. So it was really ironic that I ran into her in one of my salons, and we were talking about something else with the salon owner's dental problems, and she was actually overhearing all of this, and that's when she got involved with it all. But she didn't tell me she was married to him. But when I went to see him the next time, he said, "Yeah, that's my wife." And she used to work in the practice, but she just basically helps out from time to time. But she actually used to teach dentistry. He was telling me that he had a language problem when he came to the U.S. He couldn't really speak English very well. And so he learned to speak English. And then he said, he had a lot of challenges as a new dentist in trying to separate himself or differentiate himself with other dentists in the area. So he said there were bookstores at the time close by where his dentist practice was. And back then it was books on tape. So he would learn all kinds of information about how to do business, how, motivation. He said he really needed a lot of motivation in the early years because it was tough, tough not being able to speak, the culture differences and all of that. So he learned a lot on tape. And of course, he learned the back then, way back then, Toyota was coming to the U.S. and, building their plants, and they were regarded for their efficiency. And actually, he was saying the U.S. businesses actually taught them, and they just improved upon what they were taught by Americans. And so he tried to, he learned the Toyota way and applied it to dentistry, and that's where he came through with his lean principles. So he was frustrated by wasted resources. Dr. Bari devoured management literature, initially experimented with Deming's total quality management before discovering Toyota's lean methodology. And key adaptations included functional reorganization, inventory optimization, staff empowerment. And so by 2010, his lean implementation earned the Shingo Prize, as I mentioned earlier. And it's the Nobel Prize of Operational Excellence, making Bari Dental Group a global benchmark. He authored Follow the Learner and The Lean Dentist, cementing his status as healthcare's foremost lean authority. Today, he lectures internationally while maintaining his Jacksonville practice, proving that systemic innovation can thrive even when rooted in adversity. Dr. Bari's story underscores how intellectual curiosity and adaptive problem solving can transform linguistic and cultural barriers into catalysts for groundbreaking change. And so, he's getting up there in years. I want to say he's either in his late 60s or early 70s, but, he considered retiring, but he says, I can't stand not working. He loves what he does. He's passionate about his industry and his clients, his patients. I haven't seen a lot of dentists out there, and I know there's a lot of great dentists, but He's very compassionate with his patients, and he spends time with you and answers all your questions, and he tries to do the right thing for the customer. And I remember when it comes to teeth, he does everything possible to try and save the natural tooth before replace it with something that's not natural. So he'll go over and above trying to save your teeth. These are the unique technologies. And this is the CEREC cam system. This is kind of like what happens. So this this part right here is usually he's got a screen right at the dentist chair. So he's sitting there working on this piece, and he can rotate everything around. And I even took a picture of my own teeth. Hopefully, I can show you that part. But basically, it goes in. It goes into this machine here from here, and it actually is constructed and designed, from a block of porcelain. He can make porcelain teeth. He can make gold teeth and all of that. But the porcelain is actually probably what he does the most, and he can also match it up closest to your natural teeth. So, usually when porcelain comes out, it's pure white, but our teeth aren't always pure white unless you have all fake teeth. So he can actually match it up very, very close, and it's so wonderful that you can go in, and look at the expense. This is from the company that makes this. This is like 40 grand worth of equipment, and I don't know what he paid for it back in the day, but he's had it for years. And he was telling me that very few dentists even do this. He was like the only one in town that had this technology. And I don't really hear many other people talking about this stuff, but it's really good to be able to go in one appointment and get everything done from beginning to end and not have to keep coming back for other things. If time is important to you, or you just don't want to keep going in and having multiple appointments, and every time you go in you've got to get numbed, and they numb you up, and it's not comfortable. So I love being able to go in and getting it all done. This last time I actually had two cavities, and he thought he was going to have to put two crowns in. Well, the one he was actually able to do an onlay, which is not a full crown, but he shapes the porcelain to go on, sort of like a crown, but it's not. But he fits it to where it replaces what was missing. And he did them both all at once. My dental hygienist actually convinced me to do it all at one time, and it was no big deal. And it was actually better because he did them both sides. And when he finished the one, that was being made as soon as he was done. That was already being sent in to be processed for the machine to actually make the tooth. So while that was done, he was working on this one. He was drilling it out, cleaning it, and doing all of that. And he also has specialized equipment. So a lot of times they'll just drill it out, and sometimes they get so deep that they hit the nerve. Well, he had specialized equipment that was going to be gentle on the nerves, so I didn't have any pain afterwards. So even though I had both of them, and I was expecting my mouth to be sore, when the Novocaine wore off, I was good as gold. And the way he fit my bite, it's been the best it's ever been. I mean, I had no issues, no problems, no high areas. If you're not satisfied with your dentist, or you want the best new technology, call Dr. Bari if you're in the Jacksonville area, or if you're in an area that's close by, check it out. He's a great dentist, like I said. And by the way, I'm not getting paid to do any of this. And I wanted to actually get him on and interview him and just talk to him, but he's so busy. He hasn't really agreed to do it because he's done other videos in the past, and I'm not sure if I can be able to get him on. But maybe he'll see this and maybe want to do it. But he's a really good dentist, and I trust him. And I joke with him all the time, and he jokes back, and so we have a good relationship. But I am not being paid anything or compensated by him or any kind of affiliate program, not even on any of this equipment that I've mentioned. If you like this video, please like it. Please share it with somebody if you think they can get value out of it. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. Make sure you get notified of my next video. And be sure to watch the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.